What's up, guys? It's been a while. One sec. I've had some stuff on my mind for a while now, and what I think I'm gonna do is talk about that, but also give you guys a new look at my car if you've been here for a while. So let's do that. So one of the first things I want to talk about, which also, I hope you guys can hear me. Sorry, the windows are down. It's kind of hot for me being February, and the car is kind of loud, but we'll send it. Hopefully you can hear me. I want to say thank you to 1,000 subscribers. I think I'm at like 1,070 now or something like that. I kind of stopped making content at the volume that I had planned to when I first started this page. It kind of shifted to making after movies and cinematics and stuff like that, which most of you have followed me from that, so I appreciate it. I plan on still making stuff like that, but also kind of getting back into maybe some stuff that's focused on this car, some stuff that's focused on my life as a content creator, which that kind of leads me into the thing that I wanted to talk about today. My full-time gig is producing video content and some photography content, but that's what I do now for a living, aside from this YouTube page. And with that, I feel like I have enough perspective, and people look at me sometimes as not a voice of authority, but they'll come to me for advice and just kind of ask my opinion about like how they should be creating their videos or what they should be doing to make their stuff look a certain way, or yeah, what they should be doing to make their stuff look good, or how they should tweak this and that. And, you know, sometimes it's hard for me to give them an answer because I'm a big believer in the subjectivity of art. But in the last few years, especially since I've started making videos on YouTube, or just really started in the creative sphere as a career myself, it's a very different world now than it was, let's say 2018, 2019, a very different world. You have stuff like AI, which has just got a thumbs up from that guy. Anyway, you have in the creator space, the landscape has changed to really commodify content in a way that we hadn't really seen before. You've heard of it, I'm sure, the Mr. Beastification of YouTube. The same thing has happened on Instagram and all these different platforms, where the goal has become, how do I please the algorithm, if you will? How do I make content that is mass producible in a way that is going to be the most appeal to the most amount of people, so that I can bring in the most ad revenue or whatever, most sponsorships. And I think some of the point of art is that sometimes it isn't going to be for everybody. It's not going, you shouldn't try to optimize something that should be so open and interpretive.
All right, checking in from that any booth for a second. I just want to clarify, I don't think it's a bad thing to try and optimize technically what you're doing to become a better video creator and a content creator, but I don't think that you should strive and go out initially with the idea of looking for a box of optimal content and fitting into that. Try to optimize the techniques to allow you to achieve your vision and the look you're going for. But other than that, be true to your creative ideas. All right, back to the video.
I think I mentioned a second ago, AI is going to make, and it already has, the way that we engage with creation and art it's just made it so different. But you can make, you know, this kind of mass producible like podcast content almost entirely on your own and for free. It is so easy to create the optimal kind of video now on the internet that I think more than ever we're going to have to start looking at things. I think it's going to be very important here in the near future, and maybe even now because AI is so prevalent, that art has to be something that is intentional and true. We're going to start, you know, if a computer can create a TikTok or can create the, you know, the horrible looking animated kid show, or it can create all these things, the intentionality of the human part of art is going to be very important. So my biggest piece of advice to those kind of people is make stuff that is true to you and the version of yourself that would engage with that content. When I first started making videos on this YouTube channel, it was really because I saw stuff that I liked on the internet. I saw Heartnet Media, I saw Dated, I saw Crispy, and, you know, also like Hoonigan and Donut, and I saw all these pages creating this stuff. I was like, man, that's really cool. I like cars, that's do with cars. I want to make something in the same way that I would enjoy to watch. On the photography side, I was watching people like Peter McKinnon, Potato Jet, and they were making this cool content around the stuff that I enjoyed, and I wanted to make the same kind of content. I wanted to make a video that maybe I hadn't seen created before, that I could make that I would want to watch. And whether that was going to get 10 views or 10,000 views or 10 million views, I wanted to make something that I wanted to watch and I wanted to look at. And I just think that's going to be so important, especially as we go further in. AI is only as bad as it is now. It's never going to get worse. It's the worst it's ever going to be. And with that being said, we're going to have to really appreciate the human aspect of art. It can be really hard because there's so many gurus and stuff telling you should be making this many TikToks a day and you should make them like this because that's how you know, scale a business. And all. Make stuff that you are proud of and that you would want to engage with. If you do that first and put that at the forefront, everything else will follow, and, you know, you can work those other kind of principles into it, but you can't do it if you don't have a foundation of good content that you can stand behind and truly enjoy and support. Aside from all that, I also just wanted to use this video to show people who, because I used to document this car, I wanted to show off the car a little bit. So, you know, let's take a look at where this car has been since the last time it was on this YouTube channel and what it's looking like now. So like I said, some of you may remember the last time I think this car was on the channel, I don't know, I think I just put this motor in because I had blown the other one and I was gonna rebuild it. So I was like, yeah, let me rebuild it with forged internals and all this stuff. And then I found one in Myrtle Beach for $600. And it's still in here, by the way. It wasn't this color. I don't think it had a color. It was like all kinds of different colors. But this is my 1989 Nissan 240SX in its current glory. And let me take you around the car a little bit and kind of show you what's up with it. And more importantly, who helped with this build, because a lot of people, as much as I try to build this car by myself, a lot of people with a lot of talent and with a lot of cool products have helped me get it to where it is now. And I kind of want to shout them out. So let's take a closer look. So let's see. Oh my God.
Oh my God. What is that?
One of the first things you might notice, well, I guess let's start with the color. So I have this car now wrapped in a color called Old Lavender. It's vinyl by Vinyl Frog. And the funny thing about this color, I picked it because I had the car wrapped blue for a little bit. I don't know if that ever made the YouTube channel. I think it's in one of my after movies. I'll put up a clip of it when it was blue. It was blue, it had the gold wheels that it used to have. And that was cool, but then I wanted to switch it up. And I was trying to think of a color. I didn't want to go with like a red. I'm not as much of a fan of warm colors. So I decided I want to keep it on the cool side. And I don't know, purple just kind of became the color that was in my mind that I was going to go for. So was looking online and I wanted a purple that was a little bit unique. So I found this one and I was like, yeah, that's a cool purple. I put that on there, wrapped it, started posting pictures of the car. And then all of a sudden, a lot of people in the S-chassis community, like overseas and stuff, they're like,
Is that an OEM color? Is that OEM? I'm like, OEM, what are you talking about? This purple? No, it's not OEM. Did some research, and it turns out that yes, there is a color called, I think it's called Lavender Frost. It's an OEM Nissan color that came on some, I think just Sylvia's overseas. And it's basically identical to this purple. And I talked to these people and learned all this stuff. I was like, wow, that is such a coincidence that I picked this color that, you know, now I think it looks great. But not only that, it's like kind of OEM. It's like OEM plus, which is one of the things I'm trying to do with this car. So I'll put up a picture. I actually have a mutual on Instagram who has another S13 Sylvia overseas, and his car is actually painted this color, just so you can see how close the two colors are. But aside from the color, I have probably my favorite part of the car, these wheels. If you're into 240s, you recognize these. They're S13 teardrops, OEM wheels, but I've converted them to 3-piece. And so with this 3-piece conversion, I got these done by, I'm gonna butcher his Instagram name. It's ChimeroBoy86. His name is Lee, that's all I'll say. Lee is the master when it comes to really anything wheels, like converting them, repairing them, fixing them. I sent him the original set that I got for $80 on Marketplace. There are 15s originally, and I was like, hey, I want these stepped up to be an 18, square setup, this is my spec. Got with him, and like, I think it took a month. He sent me back these literally perfect wheels. I could not ask for better. They are silver painted faces, polished lips, so polished that people think they're chrome. Even like wheel shops think they're chrome. And again, OEM plus, it still says Nissan all over the wheels. They're so sick. And aside from having a great product and what he does, he has been so great with me. Like, shipping time was awesome. But then also right after Christmas, unfortunately, I had to avoid an accident and hit a curb and really trashed one of these wheels. And he was able to fix it so fast and was so helpful in that process to me. So if you're trying to get wheels made, I'll put his Instagram up here. Hit him up on Instagram, ChimeroBoy. You won't find anybody to do something like this better. It's to the point where now all I want to do is find wheels to convert for this car and all my other cars. But yeah, the wheels are pretty sick. As you can see, I finally got the 180SX Type X taillights. This was a big dream piece for a long time. And funny enough, I actually got rear-ended by my homie Meats. I'll put a picture or something. He's got the purple Evo. And the taillight right here had cracked, so it's time for new ones. So I just said, hey, let's do it, ordered them, and now they're on here for a little bit. This was black, wrapped that purple. What can I say? These are like the perfect taillight for an S13. They're awesome. But aside from that, I don't know if you can tell, but this is an old car. It's from the 80s. The license plate lights suck. I've got a homie, Resto JDM, and he makes some of the best like restorative light kits for these chassis. I think he does some other stuff. But so my license plate lights, which I'll go, let me see. You can see they're on now. I'll get some shots at night. Let's see if you can see them turn on and off. These things are so bright. They just like make the car look so modern and so cool at night. Almost like a UFO, the way they glow and shine down the road. He makes such awesome products. He's over on the West Coast. He's been such a homie too. He also makes some billet aluminum parts, like billet oil caps. He makes a dummy kill switch that goes into your cigarette lighter. And again, just been such a homie. He's got a super clean two-tone S13, and he got a white 180SX. So I'll put a link to his website in the description. If you got S13, if you just like cool JDM stuff, check him out. He makes really sick stuff. Since the last time I've done something like this, I also got this little speedometer thing. So let's see if I can. Yeah, so this Game Boy. This is actually my speedometer. It's GPS based because, long story short, my cluster doesn't fully work and the speedo doesn't work. But this, I got to pick my colors. It's GPS and tells me the speed I can switch around. I picked teal and pink because I think that's one of the cooler combos of Game Boy color things. But yeah, got dash carpet, all kinds of stuff. But you know, carbon fiber from Illumesthetics, forged carbon center bezel. But you know, this car is really coming together. So another one of my favorite things about the car is Up front, it's the indicator lights. Ooh, ah. They come from a guy, ooh, yeah, there they go. They come from somewhere in Europe, I think Slovakia, from a website called Lights Up Pro. They have all these show modes. I like them a lot. Let me adjust the exposure just so I can make sure you guys can see them. But, you know, they got different kind of effects you can do, rainbow stuff, police mode, not on the streets though. The only caveat that I have with the lights are they do come from a small company, I believe, in Europe. So honestly, the way I interacted with them, I think it's one guy. So communication isn't great when you're waiting for them. The website, the lead times are way off of how long you're gonna be waiting for them. But when the product comes in, you know, it's well built, it does what it says, and it's kind of hard to find something that's made for this chassis like this. There's a lot of like, you know, custom LED kits you can do, but wiring is like the bottom on the list of things that I want to do. So Lights Up Pro for those lights. And yeah, that's basically everything that I got done with the car. I got some cheap underglow on here, but right now I rubbed through one of the wires. So that wraps it up for this video. Let me know in the comments what you think I should do to the car next, or what you think I'm already going to do next, because there are some things that are in the works. I'm not gonna say what they have to do with, but you can probably guess. You know, I love this car. I'm always gonna have this car. I'm gonna keep making content about this car, and I'm gonna keep creating videos for this channel as the passion inspires me to. But other than that, I appreciate you guys. Let's see what happens next. Peace out.